Hi, everybody. Welcome to We Need a Vacations office hour. Um, I'm Carrie Hillman, and I have been renting vacation homes for about a decade and working on the homeowner support team at We Need a Vacation for about 5 years now. So thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Today, we're going to talk about optimizing your listing to maximize bookings. So making sure your listing is all set to go to attract the most vacationers to click into it and to click through to inquire with you. Um, we have some other We Need a Vacation support staff here today with us. And specifically, we have Sarah will be on the chat. So if you have any questions along the way, feel free to put them into the chat and either Sarah will answer them right away or we'll save some till the end if they're more of a discussion to make sure that we get a good conversation going about them. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So this is kind of the overview of what we're going to talk about today. So we'll start off with the listing quality audit. We'll talk a little bit about how to use ChatGPT to help your listing. We will talk about looking at your listing on a mobile device to make sure it's optimized for best results. And then we'll talk with Becky about photography. And actually, sorry, I didn't say this earlier. Becky's on the call today as well, and she's been with We Need a Vacation for a long time. I'll let her explain more, but she does our photography services. So great that we have her here with us. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is listing quality audit. And so basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go through your listing, the listing quality audit on a listing, and talk about how to fix things and make the listing quality audit better. And so let me first explain what the listing quality audit actually is. So this is the quality of your listing and not necessarily the quality of your home. Okay, so let's look at an example of photos. So the listing quality audit looks at the quality of your photos. So how clear they are, how big they are, not necessarily the content of the photo. So for example, your couch versus your neighbor's couch. So your neighbor may have a beautiful brand new large white couch and you might have a well-used navy blue cozy couch. Okay. And so the listing quality audit is going to make sure that both of you are showing your couches equally and that the vacationer can really choose which couch they want in their vacation home. So maybe some people want a brand new white couch, or maybe most families are scared of a brand new white couch and they prefer the broken in cozy navy blue couch. So just basically, the listing quality audit is going to help manage your vacationers' expectations by really showing them what your house is, when it's available. And, there are a lot of details, but it's not necessarily which house is better. It's which listing is clearly showing the house, if that makes sense. And so we do this by using an algorithm. So we've got all these items here that we're using to judge the listing quality audit. And so the point of this is you want to look at each of these items on your listing and make sure they're all like up to snuff and good to go. And so when you have a really good listing quality audit, you're going to have this green smiley face, and that's the excellent one up here. And then if you have a very poor listing quality audit, you're going to have a really sad red frowny face. So we don't want the frowny face. We want the happy face. So, and the purpose of this is that it's going to improve where you appear in the search results. So if you have a really great listing quality audit, your home is going to show up higher in the search results when a vacationer is looking for a house, say in your town, or a 2-bedroom, whatever they're using for their search criteria. Yours will appear higher in the search results if you have a higher listing quality audit. So, so what I'm going to do today is basically I took a listing that we had that was a really sad frowny face. It was a very bad listing quality audit. And I we'll show you that listing in a second. And I made a little video explaining the listing and going over the very poor listing quality audit. And then I fixed everything up on that listing, made it really good. And then I'll show you another video with the fixed up listing. And so basically I did the 2 video clips because it would have been too long of a meeting today to get everything fixed on that listing in live in person with you all. So basically I just did 2 video clips. So we'll watch the 2 video clips and then we can discuss. So go ahead here. And here we go.
Carrie, do you have volume on this?
You can't hear the audio?
No. If there was audio playing on that, we couldn't hear it.
There is audio playing. Let me see if I take my fixes anything. 1 second. Hi everyone, this is Carrie with We Need a Vacation. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that.
And today I'm going to show you how to update your listing quality audit. So the listing quality audit is a place on our site that shows you the status.
Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Whoops. Sensitive mouse. Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Carrie with
Sorry, here we go.
And today I'm going to show you how to update your listing quality audit. So the listing quality audit is a place on our site that shows you the status of your listing and how you compare to other houses on our site and how well your listing displays your home to the best of its ability. And so basically right here, you can see we're in the homeowner center and you can see our listing status. Right now, this listing is a frowny face, which is not good. So if we click on quick view here, you can see this is the key. So you can be frowny face, which is very poor, poor, fair, good, or excellent. So right now we are in the very poor category and you can see all these items that need to be addressed to get this listing back up to snuff. So what we're going to do is run through a couple of these real quick to take a look. I'll close this out and then we can access the full listing quality audit down here in the manage listing section. So right here, you can see the inquiry responsiveness is good. We're only sharing information about that calendar update and availability. The calendar has recently been updated. Fixtures, however, are needing attention. You can see this is the key here, needs attention. Pricing needs attention. It needs daily pricing. It needs monthly pricing. It needs the minimum stay defined. Guest reviews, because this is a new listing, they let you off the hook and you don't need guest reviews right away, but you can bring over guest reviews from another website and ask for verification from that vacationer, and then they will get added to your listing. Payment methods have not been defined yet. You're able to choose which payment methods you allow. Map zoom looks good. You need to add about the owner. We need to add green amenities to find those. Add the property description. We can add a video. That's not 100% required, but video helps. And then we need to define the distance to the nearest beach. So let's go zip over to the homeowner center real quick and take a look at how we do this. So all of those items are here under manage listing, category down here. So let's take the description, for example, that needed attention. So right here, you can see it's got a property title and then a very short description. So we need more detail in this description here. And then we can take a look at calendar pricing. Here we can see the minimum night stay needs to be defined because the summertime has a 4-night minimum. We need to define nightly pricing range. And then down here, this week doesn't have pricing. And then the last day with pricing is in June of 2025. So in order to best show your listing, you need to clarify if any of these dates are available or not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on making these updates, and we'll be back in the next clip. And we can see what updates I've made. But before we move over to that clip, I'm just going to show you where this house appears in the search results. So the reason you want to get your listing up to snuff is so that you appear high in the search results. So I'm going to search Orleans. This is a 2-bedroom. And you'll see that it's going to spit out 82 properties. And you see, you have to scroll through all these properties to find this one. If I was a vacationer looking, I'd be scrolling, clicking into these, see what looks good. And then this property that we're working on doesn't show up until page 4. So all the way down here, here it is, newly renovated cottage. This is the listing we're working with. It's number 81 of 82. So I'm going to get going on this listing quality audit and see if we can bring it up higher in the search results. Okay, so I'll be back soon. Thanks.
Okay, so that was the poor listing quality audit, and then I did a lot of work on the listing, fixing everything up, and then now I'll show you the video clip of the fixed listing quality audit. Hi, everyone. Okay, we are back to take a look at this listing and see how it fares with the listing quality audit. So I worked really hard on every aspect of the listing to make sure everything was filled out and clarified. And let's take a look. So right away, we can see here we are in the homeowner center. We can see that the listing status is a big green smiley face. So let's do a quick view of that here. Again, this is our key. We used to be at very poor, and now we are all the way up to excellent, the highest rating. And you can see every single item has a green circle next to it. So let's go ahead and dive in and see where we are. So if we go back to the homeowner center, listing quality audits down here again, under manage listings section. And we can see we've got a green circle for everything. So here we go. And I'll just pop through some of these and take a look real quick. So inquiry responsiveness. So the response rate is 100%. Every inquiry has been responded to. The response time is within a day. This is the best rating you can get. The different ratings are within a day, within 2 days, or more than 2 days. You can see the calendar has been updated recently, has an updated date stamp, and it has availability all the way through the maximum time, 7/6/26. I added pricing, availability, and daily pricing into the calendar. I added a lot more pictures. We already went over the pricing, but I added pricing. You can see minimum stay is 7 nights. So you don't need daily pricing here, but this minimum stay is 4 nights right here. So we need daily pricing right here. And guest reviews, you can see it's not marking me off for guest reviews, but I did add a few guest reviews on. Payment methods are all set to go. They're clarified. Map Zoom works. About the owner, I added the about the owner in. I clarified and noted the green amenities. The property description is longer now with more detail. I did add a video and I put in the distance to the nearest beach. I did add some booking management items as well. So that should be all set. So here we go. Let's go back to the homeowner center. And we'll take a quick look. So here we go on description. I added a much more in-depth description. Picture central. I have all my photos here
and each one has a caption underneath, which is very helpful and important. Video Central, added a video in here. There's some guest reviews, and the about the owner is the last section that's most important. So we added some items here about the owner and a photo at the bottom. And the about the owner really helps the vacationer get to know you and build trust with the vacationer so they know who they're renting from. So there we have it. Listing is all cleaned up. It's got all the details here. We've got a great big happy green smiley face. So let's go see where this place shows up in the search results. So if you remember before, we had 82 properties and this was 81 of 82. So it's really far down the list. Vacationers would have to scroll down through a lot of properties to find this one. So here we are. Again, we've got 82 properties. And let's scroll to see where we are. Bingo, there we are, number 3. So it really makes a big difference to go through that listing quality audit and make sure that your listing has all the criteria to get pushed up higher in the search results. So check out your listing quality audit today. And if you have any questions or concerns, give us a call at the office and we can help you pinpoint what else you need to update for your listing to show higher in the search results. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so as you can see, adjusting your listing quality audit can be really helpful to moving your property up higher in the search results. And it will be a little more prominent and hopefully more vacationers are going to click on it because they'll see it before others. But then once they click into your property, we still have, there are still a few areas that you can make even shinier and even better with a few tricks that we'll talk to you about. So the description, the title, the about the owner, and making sure your listing is viewing nicely on mobile and also focusing on your photography. So we'll go into each of those areas here. And so the first one is really talking about making your description, title, and about the owner even better than they are. So I'm not sure if people have used ChatGPT yet, but you can use ChatGPT to help you with your description, title, and about the owner. So basically, ChatGPT is like a really smart robot that you talk to through your computer. So it's programmed to help you edit and create better wording for your description, title, and about the owner. And you can feed it different prompts to focus how it's helping you. And it is surprisingly helpful. So you can kind of think of it like having one of our helpful We Need a Vacation staffers right in your computer, and maybe even a little smarter than we are. So basically, I'm going to show you a little video clip of how to use it for your description. But basically, you can just type in how you want it to change your description, then you paste your full description in, and then it will spit out something for you. So here, let's move to the video for this.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT today to update your listing description, title, and about the owner section in your homeowner center. So if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's an AI service that will add a nice polish to any of your written sections of your listing. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go grab my description right here. I just copy this and then I'll head over to chatgpt.com right here. You just type in this web address and then it brings you to this section here where you can type your question or your message. You can create a login, but you don't have to. If you create a login, that will save your work so that you can come back to it later. So here we go. I'm going to say, make this more inviting.
and then I just paste in the exact content of my listing description, and then I click this go arrow, and then here we go. It types it out, what it suggests that I write, and already I can see it added a few things, recently remodeled with a focus on natural materials. This cozy retreat is full of old Cape Cod charm. It's written in a much nicer way. At the end here, this cottage is the perfect blend of relaxation and adventure. Welcome to your getaway. It just sounds much nicer and adds a few nice touches to my writing. So then what I would do is I'd go ahead and copy this all the way to the top here, copy that and paste it in here. And it will add a nice benefit. You can also ask for more details. So add keywords. And we'll add some keywords. So there you go. Okay, so that was just a quick little demo of ChatGPT. It's really a powerful tool to use. And if you have more questions about it, feel free to call the office and one of our team members can kind of help step you through how to use it with your listing to make sure that you know, you're using it to the best of its ability. It's a pretty cool thing. Okay, so let's see here. So the next thing we're going to look at is reviewing your listing on a mobile device. So this is another trick to make sure that you are competing well with other people in your area. So you just want to pull up your listing on your phone and so that you can see it in like the small mode and make sure that everything looks good. So scroll through all your photos, make sure they're displaying properly, especially the first one. That's key because that's the first thing that people are seeing as they're scrolling through all the listings is your first photo. And you also want to look at your home in the search results. So do a search for your town and the number of bedrooms, and then just scroll through everything and just look at how your house looks compared to other people that vacationers are seeing. It's just good to make sure that everything looks right. And you know, I think a lot of people don't think to look on their phones at their listing because a lot of times we're working on things on our computers to update the listing, but it's good to take a look at it on your phone as well to make sure everything looks good. Okay, and then next we are going to hear from Becky about our photography services. So take it away, Becky.
Thank you, Carrie. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Becky Fisher, and yeah, I'm the photographer on the team. I've been taking pictures of our vacation rental home since, gosh, 2006. So a long time. It's so fun to visit all these homes. I think we're keeping count. I think I'm up to 700 homes now over the years, which is just a real joy to get to meet homeowners and tour all these beautiful homes, all sizes and shapes, and you know, on the beach and in the woods and everything in between. So it's really a very fun job. But I do want to talk about just the importance of photography. And we talk about this all the time, how we feel like the photos on your listing are the first impression. People are scrolling very quickly. They're looking at your listing, they're looking at several other listings. Between price and pictures, I feel like those are the two things that are kind of the bottom lines for people when they're making their initial decision about, do I want to even read the written description? Do I want to go forward and think about renting this house? And so we really emphasize the importance of the pictures. So just a couple of tips here. It's important to really showcase every room in your home. Homeowners want to see, or I'm sorry, guests and vacationers want to see every bedroom, most bathrooms. I mean, pick, you know, your best bathroom at least, if not more than one bathroom. Be sure to take your pictures horizontally as this picture is displayed. So if you're doing it on your phone, you know, we're looking for landscape images. We feel like overall they really show more inventory of the room, give a bigger and better sense of the room. They display better on your listing, both on a computer and mobile. So some rooms like bathrooms, you know, are tough, and I do tend to shoot some of those more vertical, but try to shoot more of your pictures horizontally. Turn on all the lights. You'll see in this example, you know, the lights are on, it just looks bright, it looks pretty. We're trying to make pictures obviously look as summery as we can. And so lighting is really important. And the before and after pictures of the same room with the lights on versus off, in my mind, is a huge difference. So I really recommend turning on all the lights before you take your pictures. Do some simple staging, you know, like I think that's a lemons there on the table, or, you know, I see flowers. Do little things like that. Put out some flowers, maybe set the table for a meal. Make sure that everything's kind of propped and decluttered. You know, I think less is more, like on kitchen counters and things. When I go into homes and take pictures, I often, you know, hide the drying rack or the sponges and the soaps, or, you know, just little things. Just think of it kind of less is more, wanting everything to look roomy and spacious and decluttered. Um, for our services, for our photography services, we do offer photography Cape wide. We occasionally go to the islands. Those services vary in price based on the size of your home. And I'm happy to be in touch with people. I see somebody's already asked in the chat, I think, about pricing. If you want to email me, Becky@weneedavacation.com, I'm more than happy to look at your listing and give you feedback and a quote. This time of year, we really focus on interior photography. Obviously, our gardens and lawns don't look particularly summery, and so taking interior pictures this time of year is a really beneficial way to get your listing updated and shiny for the upcoming rental season, right? If we wait until May, when gardens are starting to green up, it may be too late for 2025. So we do encourage people to consider doing interior photography in the winter. And then, you know, I can coach you on taking outside pictures. We can add those later. We could make a second trip, that kind of thing. So what else did we want to say about video? Yeah, video. I know that Carrie mentioned that for the listing quality audit, it's not mandatory that you have a video. A video can be really helpful. Again, please, before you shoot a video, go to Video Central on your homeowner center and look at our video guidelines, because we do have a few guidelines in terms of kind of rules about the videos that we embed on your listing. Again, you're going to want to be shooting them in landscape. A lot of, you know, I think we tend to shoot things this way these days, but again, we want videos to be horizontal. The way that that works is you submit the video to us. If you take it yourself, that comes to me, I okay it, and then I put it on our YouTube channel, as well as embedding it and optimize it. Well, I optimize it on our YouTube channel, and then I embed it onto your listing. So there are a few little rules about videos, so just be sure to check those out on your Video Central link. In addition, we do offer a video service. That's something that Jenny does. And so if you have more questions about us shooting video for you, again, you could be in touch, go to our marketing page, or email, again, me, and I can put you in touch with Jenny. What else? I think that might be it. So yay, update your pictures. I've got some homeowners who I've worked with 4 or 5 times because they buy a new couch, or they buy new drapes, or they paint a room or something. And so they have me come back and shoot a couple of rooms. So that's fun to get to see people over and over again. But, you know, you do want the decor and the enhancements that you do in your house be reflected in your picture. So if you do make a significant, decorative change, I would recommend retaking that picture so that when vacationers walk into your house, they're seeing kind of what they expect to have seen, what you've shown them on your listing, and get yourself credit for that. If you do a remodel or put in hardwood floors or anything like that, then make sure that your pictures reflect the strength of your listing, the strength of your house. That's all I got.
Great. Thanks so much, Becky.
Yeah, you bet.
And just building on what you were just saying, even if you add new bedspreads, take
Yeah.
some new photos, because that
Yeah.
really can spruce up a room, even if you're just doing something simple, adding new bedspread, new throw pillows, little things, a new rug,
For
any
sure.
of those things, make sure you're getting new photos for those.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, great. So that concludes our presentation. So now we're going to open it up for question and answer. And actually, maybe I'll start with Sarah. Did anything come up in the chat, Sarah, that we should?
There is a couple of questions about when can we expect most bookings at what time of year? And when do you recommend adjusting pricing for summer rentals and updating or adjusting photos on a listing?
Okay, that was a lot. Maybe just
Sorry, it's just
we'll
in,
just start with the first.
it was in one comment. So when can we expect most bookings at what time of year?
Okay, expect most bookings and at what time of year? Okay, so we kind of look at our bookings as kind of coming in waves, I would say. So there's a wave at the beginning of the year, and that's like kind of as families are gathering for the holidays and into the new year, or maybe when they go back to work after their holiday break, they're thinking, I wish I was on vacation still. So they're thinking about their summer vacation. And a lot of times we see the houses that are getting booked at that time of year, or maybe the bigger ones, because it's people planning bigger family trips and they have to plan ahead, and they, already know what they're looking for. So, and those are, the planners that are booking early. So that's kind of beginning of the year. And then sometimes we see a little bit of a lull in the springtime. And then as the weather starts to warm, usually the first really warm day, springtime seems like it's coming, then people are thinking, oh, wow, it's getting warm. I need to start thinking about my summer vacation. So then we see another little wave then. And then another wave at the beginning or the end of the spring towards the beginning of the summer when, the more last minute bookers are doing their plans. Maybe it's people who are just a single family traveling alone, so they need a smaller house, or a couple traveling alone, so they need a smaller house. And then, of course, through the summer, there are last minute bookings that happen, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the vacation time. So, and then throughout the summer, you start getting some bookings for the fall, usually is when the fall bookings start to happen. And then at the end of the summer, you have some people who are like the real planners, and maybe they didn't get the house they wanted this year, so they're already booking for the next summer. So they're really planning ahead, but that's not usually too many. And yeah, so I think that's kind of the ebbs and flows. Does anyone else on our team want to jump in with any details on that? Joan, you want to add some more details to that?
Sure. We assess the traffic and inquiries and bookings every year. And this year, when we looked at the end of January, we found that almost 40% of the bookings that we would expect during the year for the following summer are already booked, but that still leaves 60%. So there's plenty of time. And so much is dependent on your individual home. If you have a small home, it's obvious that you are going to probably book closer to the time. People who are just a couple or a couple with a small child, they just don't need to plan that far ahead. Larger homes, of course, book sooner. Homes that are within a walk to the beach book sooner than those that are not. Those with a pool, of course, are always in demand because we don't have a lot of homes with pools, and a lot of people would love to have them. And it also depends on your price. And what we found is for years, the average rate of increase in price has been 2 to 4% per year until the pandemic. And then it just shot up and it was going 8%, 10%. And it was just crazy, as some of you know, for several years. And now it's coming back to closer to pre-pandemic times. And in fact, we discovered that 32% of listings that have been on our site for at least 3 years reduced their prices for this summer. Maybe not by a lot, but enough to, and that's, you know, that's significant, 32%. So people are not increasing their prices like they were. And, you know, we found that bookings are actually up. We're not sure how long, you know, whether that will even out in the end, but on the Cape, bookings are up over last year at the same time by over 14%. And on the Vineyard, it's almost 11%. Nantucket is a little bit different ball of wax, and it's down 2.4%. That could have something to do with the fact that prices on Nantucket increased more than on the Vineyard or the Cape. And also, you know, we assess what percentage of weeks are booked every year. And the last two weeks of July and the first 2 weeks of August are the most popular, as you probably know. The least popular is the last week of August. Again, it's predictable. Kids are starting to go back to school. Even the week before that last week of August is somewhat down. So, you know, if you looked at a bar graph, you'd see that over almost 60% of the homes are booked for the first week of August, whereas the last week of August, it's under 40%. So that's why a lot of people price their homes, they tier them so that you have a better chance of renting those, booking those last couple of weeks of August. And the last week of June, again, is not as popular. And so from the onset, you know, we often see people price every week the same, and every week is not the same. It's not the same demand. So if you have your last week of August priced lower, you'd be, you know, you might find some people who have the ability to vacation then, and you're in luck because you have that week booked early. And we always find that there are people who just don't book that week at all because they just waited too long. So there's no easy answer to when should I reduce my prices. You just have to see, how are you doing? If you are getting inquiries, if you're not getting any inquiries, then you need to call us. And, you know, we'll take a look at your listing with you. But it's, you can certainly afford to wait a while, knowing that there's still, you know, plenty of activity, but you just have to look at your individual circumstances and how you've done in the past. I guess that's it, Carrie.
Yeah, great.
Talked too much.
No, that's great. Yeah. So Joan kind of covered the climate and when to adjust pricing. Okay, cool. Sarah, what's our next question?
Are there strategies to fill the shoulder seasons?
Okay, so kind of what Joan was talking about a little bit. So tiering your pricing for the different weeks, and then you're just going to want to tier your pricing even more strongly as you go into the shoulder season. So definitely take a look at what your neighbors are charging for a similar type house, similar distance to the beach, similar number of bedrooms, bathrooms, that kind of thing, to see what your competition is. And, you know, you're going to want to drop the price significantly, because if you think about how much inventory there is, how many houses there are in the Cape, and then how few vacationers come in the off season, you just, you want to have a really competitive price. I mean, don't go too low, but, you know, go pretty low. And again, see what your neighbors are doing. And then also you should consider doing a lower minimum night stay. So in the summer, a lot of owners do 7 nights, and it's like, that's what everybody does. Vacationers come for 7 nights. They know they have to do 7 nights, but in the off season, people might want a weekend. They might want 3 nights or 2 nights or even 1 night, you know? So be open to that. And also consider being open to giving discounts. So if someone inquires with you and they say, you know, hey, your house looks like a great fit for us, is there any chance that you'd offer a discount for a family that's very clean and tidy or something, whatever they say? And definitely consider that, because they're going to ask other people probably for the same thing, and whoever gives them the discount is who they'll go with. So, you know, just be open to it and have conversations with people. And yeah, I think those are some strategies
I have
for
a
that.
photos comment too to answer that question if I
Oh,
could.
yeah. Yes,
I
Becky.
I also think that some homeowners are really active in terms of swapping out their pictures seasonally. So, you know, some people who really want fall rentals, right? They'll change their first picture so that the front of their house shows like mums and pumpkins and, you know, or if they you know, so or they'll call out an event that's upcoming, a cranberry festival or Wellfleet Oyster Fest, or you know, something really big that's happening in their general area, and they might add that to their title, you know, available for Oyster Fest or whatever. And so I think kind of playing to your neighborhood, your area market, as well as the seasonality of the Cape, I think can be a good strategy.
Yes, totally. And in your picture central, you can adjust the photos to show them or hide them. So if you have specific ones about showing Oyster Fest or showing a snowy picture of your house or whatever you're trying to do, or a cozy fireplace picture, you can keep those on your listing and just activate them or deactivate them. I forget the exact term. I think it's add to listing or remove from listing is the exact terminology, but it keeps the photo there. It's just not visible. So you don't have to be constantly uploading, or, you know, where did I store that picture of the fireplace, or what year did I take that picture? You know, it's just, you can just keep them all there and just make them visible or not visible. So it's pretty quick once you get them loaded in. Righty. Okay.
James is asking, is it true that many repeat renters means you have underpriced your homes? Do you verify rental prices?
Okay, James. Repeat renters does not mean you've underpriced your home. It means you're selling your home perfectly and taking care of your renters and giving them plenty of attention and managing their expectations and managing any issues that come up. So at We Need a Vacation, we think repeat renters are gold, because you know what to expect from them. They know what to expect from you. They're happy with your house and you're happy with them. I mean, if you're not happy with them, then of course don't welcome them back again. But you know, repeat renters are the best because you can rely on them year after year to keep coming back. And occasionally they'll outgrow your house or their plans will change or whatever. But if you can keep them coming back, that is like the ideal situation. And then I'm not sure what you mean by verifying rental prices, but do you mean like advising about rental prices? You can come off mute if you're still here, James.
Yes, I appreciate that. Taking my
So-
question. In terms of verifying rental prices, does We Need a Vacation do any analysis of what our rental pricing is versus the neighborhood, that type of thing, or is that left?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And actually I can let Joan, or who wants to take this one?
How about Becky?
Becky?
I
Okay.
can talk about pricing analysis. We do offer another service, a consultation service where we will do a pricing analysis for you. So that might be what you're asking, James, where we do a very deep dive and in-depth search in all of our inventory after talking with you, learning more about your rental. I do on-site visits. So because I live in Brewster, I would come to your house, tour the house. You'd ask me any questions you want to ask me about marketing or managing your rental. I would get a sense of the house in the neighborhood and then present you a few days later with a pricing analysis, which would offer comps, kind of apples to apples. I mean, if you're on the beach, then I'm going to compare you to other homes on the beach. If, you've got a real fancy modern kitchen, then I'm going to, compare you to like homes and offer you comps. And then based on those comps, we would provide you with spring, summer, and fall weekly pricing recommendations. So that's a service that we could explain more in depth if you're interested. Joan does them as well. She tends to do more of the off-site pricing analyses. So that's a service that we really recommend, especially as the market, each year it's a little unique. We measure the trends the best we can, and try to be able to predict the season, like Joan was talking, and we know kind of the ins and outs of how to price a home based on all of our data. So that's a service if you're interested. Again, you can email us and we can share more details about how that works.
Okay, great. Thanks, Becky.
Richard would like to know that he said, I've heard that the weeks on either side of July 4th are harder to rent. Is that true?
That's an interesting question. Okay, yes. Well, the week before July 4th, we're still in June, right? So yes, that is harder to rent, especially if you're trying to do a 7-day. That is technically considered the off season because some kids are still in school or maybe they're just getting out of school. And the week of July 4th, we've seen some people struggle to rent as well. It's still kind of chilly on the Cape sometimes, and people aren't quite into summer mode. And I think also people do a lot of their own family events together maybe and aren't necessarily going on vacation at that time. But the week after July 4th, I would say that is, that's full on summer season. And I don't think most people struggle to book that week. But does any other We Need a Vacation person have any opinion on that?
Well, this year, July 4th is on a Friday. So you have to wonder, I think a lot of people will be taking a long weekend, which means they won't want to rent for an entire week. They'll take their week's vacation at some other time during the summer just to break up their time off of work. So it's hard to anticipate, but we have found that the week that contains July 4th and can be problematic, and the week after, as Carrie said, it all depends. But I wouldn't raise the price. Some people think, well, July 4th must be so popular, I'll raise the rate for that week, but we have not found that to be the case. I mean, you don't have to lower it necessarily, but just know that it's some people, it's not probably the first week to go for some people to rent.
Right. Okay. Sarah, any more questions, or is that the end of the chat questions?
That's the end of the chat questions.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to come off mute and ask a question?
Roselle just wrote in, if your town offers a full schedule traditional July 4th event, popular time, some towns do more than others, and some have families returning year after year, always showcase what's available. So I apologize. I thought it was a question. I just saw it pop up, but thank you for the comment, Roselle.
I might have missed something, but the audit, is that on every one of our listings now? If we go to our listing?
Yes, it's right in your homeowner center, and the main list of items that you can work on, like your listing description or your photo, Picture Central, there's a whole list, and Listing Quality Audit is towards the bottom of that list, so you can access it there. And then just click through each item and it will tell you specifically for your listing what you can improve, or if you're already doing great, it'll just give you a thumbs up and a green circle.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Harry, can I just add a comment? relating to what Roselle said. It's an excellent comment. This is something that everybody should be doing. When you're renting your home, you're not just renting your home, you're renting an experience. You're providing your vacationers an experience. So they will have a better time if they can take advantage of some of the activities that are going on during the time that they're at your home. And sometimes they won't know about it. They might be from out of state. They've never been to the Cape before or the islands. So it's really important to help them know ahead of time what is available. They will have a better time. They're more likely to come back to your home. And we have events on our website. We have a separate page of events that we update all the time. So if you're not sure, or you could just Google it as well, but it's just really important and an added benefit to your guests to provide them with this information before they come.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they really like it when you tell them like things that are kind of not well known, you know, like I'm always saying, you know, my family loves to do this, or my kids really love this playground the most, or there's a baseball game coming up on Thursday night and you have to go put your chairs out early so you get a good seat, you know, give them the inside scoop so they know how to take part in those events. Okay, I think another question just came in on the chat. Does the
I got
cabinet?
Yeah.
We've
the
got it already. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Okay, anybody else want to come off mute and ask a question? Going once, going twice. I was just at an auction for my kids' elementary school last night, so I'm in the auction mode. Okay, I guess that's it. So, as always, if you have other questions, feel free to reach out to us, phone call, email. We do have live chat now available on our website. So don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions. No question is too small. So we appreciate everybody being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.